Alright, hello and welcome back to another monthly tier shift video. I'm your host, Typhon Carter. Yu, this is mainly for Scarlet and Violet Yu, as I will note in the title. But lots happened. This couple crucial changes have happened this month for Yu. I'm just gonna get right into it, call it a BS. So as of March 2024, we had Blissey had moved from RU all the way to OU. So this means by proxy, UU also lost Blissey. Blissey was kind of a niche pick, but it was kind of like your, run-of-the-mill special attacking wall special attackers. Everybody knows what Blissey does, right? If you've played Mons or any bit, but so that's like pretty tough for I guess people who like to build their fat teams and whatnot. The other thing we got going on right now is we got Deoxys Speed, Excadrill, and Skeledirge all moved to UU, and Hawlucha, Donphan, Malaswine, Roomwash, Slowking, Tinkaton, and DD all moved up to UU. But I will talk about the drops first. Deoxys Speed, 505 speed tier. This is very notable as it is actually faster than a +1 speed boosted Garchomp at like Jolly Invested. I think Garchomp barely misses out by a few points. It hits like 499. So like Deoxys Speed has it's actually got passable like attacking stat, but like its speed is like so high that like you need to be like, I don't know, I think it's like 346 or higher for like speed, like with a scarf or like booster energy in some cases to actually outspeed this thing. So this thing is ridiculously fast. Versatile move pool because it's Deoxys we're talking about. It's got superpowers, it's got Ice Beam, Psycho Boost, T-Bolt, like you name it. Although I don't think it quite has fire coverage, but yeah, so it's very flexible. Lots of movesets. You do mixed attacker. You could do like nasty plot if you want. Yeah, so it's got a lot of freedom in terms of what it can run in that regard. But so far, I don't know if I'd necessarily say it's broken, or at least that's what seems to be a sentiment right now. But I'm not 100% sure. But it does like fuck up like speed tiers so much. The other one is Excadrill. So Excadrill is a big one for us because UU gets another hazard remover, kinda. Oh, it's actually a hazard remover that can sort of threaten some of the spin block. Okay, it can threaten Petrant pretty easily. Sinistcha, a little bit shakier, but the other thing is that it also actually has Mold Breaker, so this means stuff like Latios, or for example, is like no longer like an actual ground immune. So like you could just slam stuff with Earthquake. The set that people have been running a lot has been Sword Stance, Earthquake, Iron Head, Rapid Spin. This, as you can tell, this obviously gets walled by Zapdos more often than not. But so yeah, defensive Zap, like at least in like the first 10 days or so of like these changes being in effect, Zapdos sorta does okay into it, but like some people have tried running Rock Slide Excadrill, so that's like another point of consideration. Skeledirge kind of came back at like a really awkward time because like yeah, Unaware is great and all, but like the problem is like Excadrill exists, so I haven't seen people had too much success with it. Like offense is just so overwhelming. Like side terrain was kind of overwhelming, but like Excadrill coming down means that Sand is like a legitimate playstyle, so it might be taken off the peg a tiny bit, but that aside though, yeah, like Malaswine was kind of cool because like you would be able to run priority moves. Like it would actually go really well into, well, maybe not really well, but like it had some decent matchups going into stuff like Latios, Zapdos, Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz and Excadrill are like the two notable hazard removers right now. So there's that. I will say also Rotom Wash is like no longer a fucking proper ground immune because Excadrill's existence is like huge. So there is that going on right now. Amoonguss, Cinccino, and Deoxys defense all fell down to RU. Amoonguss, like, losing score is just fucking terrible for it due to, like, the sleep ban, but, Cinccino, like, you know, Garchomp's, like, usage is crazy. Actually, in fact, speaking of Garchomp, let me pull up the actual usages. Yeah, so Garchomp's at, like, was at, like, 50% usage throughout most of February. Like, yeah, like almost every other team was running it because Garchomp is just super splashable. You would run like spikes, rocks. You could even run stuff like Dragon Tail. You could run Tank Chomp. Tank Chomp's definitely like the most popular, or at least one of the two most popular sets right now. The other one is Swords Dance Scale Shot. Common Terra type would either be Steel. Sometimes you might run Fairy just so that you don't insta get owned by Mandibuzz, which is number 8 in usage during February, because, like, you know, like, it's just like a really good blanket check for a lot of physical attackers. It's also another decent check for Excadrill. So there's that, because, like, +2 Iron Head, you're just not doing shit to it. Although Rock Slide, I'm not sure the exact calcs on that. That might be a little bit shakier, but yeah, like, so there's that going. Quackle Ball was also used a lot because, like, God, hazard removal is just dire right now. Like, it is just brutal. And because, like look at, like, most of the fucking mons that are, like, Garchomp, your most common hazard center. You also have Sandy Shocks, which can also do that just fine. Even Hisuian Arcanine has seen some usage as a rock setter, because, like, the idea is that you would set rocks, you run Boots, right, and then you run Will-O-Wisp, like, sort of as a chomp lure to permanently cripple it. Like, offense is just going crazy. You have Low Kicks, which is also kind of a popular pick because Greninja is number 5 in usage. You know, Battle Bond just goes crazy as an endgame mon, and not to mention, like, it's just decent. Like, Tinted Lens first impression is just pretty good. Also decent to stuff like Metagross. Metagross, very, very good mon right now. Keldeo, 12% usage, but that's a little bit dubious sometimes because, like, it's just terrible into stuff like Slowking. But, like, you can at least flip turn on it if you're running, like, specs. So there's that. I have seen stuff like Terra Electric for mon such as Azumarill for Keldeo, but being slower than Latios kind of sucks. Latios number 3 mon in usage. The most common set right now has been, like, Soldew with both its stab moves, so Luster Purge and Draco Meteor, with Terra Electric or Terra Steel. I've also I remember seeing, like, a CM Store Power variant with, like, T-Bolt 2 on ladder, but, you know, ladder moment. So there's that. Iron Crown also popular because you could do some weird stuff like a weakness policy, agility, like CM with, like, Store Power. Like, yeah, you can do, like, a lot of stupid stuff. Petrant was also kind of popular, but its usage, at least, like, so far playing around on ladder and stuff, it's been kind of weird, but I don't think it's in, like, the greatest place right now. With that being said, Garganacl, it was banned earlier this month. I kind of talked about it last video, but so there's that going on right now. Oh yeah, I will note one more thing before I wrap this up. There is currently a thread on UU that is called UU Open Mic. I'm just gonna go over that to it real quick. Okay, so here we are. So this is the open mic session. They're talking about Garchomp right now. That's kind of the discussion. The council kind of wants to see what's going on. Like, what's the community's opinion on Garchomp? Obviously, 50% usage. Best fucking mon in the tier, or at least, like, one of, if not the best, or most splashable at the very least. Yeah, it's, like, super flexible at, like, what it does. Some people think it's broken. You know, some people think it's not. I mean, as for my 2 cents, is that, like, I think it is kind of stupid, but I don't really know if that's I mean, if you want to suspect it, like, go ahead. I get it, but I really think stuff like Latios is, like, kind of a bigger issue for it. Like, or, like, at least in the tier, like, I think stuff like Greninja, but, like, people kind of shot down that idea of Greninja being stupid because, like, you know, hey, Low Kicks exist, guys, and also Keldeo, or, you know, Gudra Hisui. Yeah. But, yeah, like, you know, like, and then you have like people saying like, oh, we ban things that are broken, ignore positive. I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that, but yeah, like take it as you will. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I even think something like DOS, like although in practice I don't think it's nearly as broken, I do think it's pretty fucking stupid. And also, yeah, air balloon. Okay, yeah, people have been running air balloon on like stuff like Tinkaton, which is like fucking stupid. Because like, yeah, if it fucking runs like, you know, SD Stone Age, like, yeah, congratulations. That's not even a fucking real answer anymore. Yeah, air balloon isn't okay. Yeah, but and that doesn't even include the fucking fact that you could run something like Ironhead for it. But yeah, so generally people are pretty split on the sentiment of like whether Chomp should be banned or not. And to me, it's like a pretty interesting discussion. But yeah, so my general thought is that, you know what, this thing is stupid. Like, if you want to suspect it, go ahead, but it's not really the first thing I'd look at personally. But yeah, I just think it's kind of like, it just kind of gives, you know, like, balanced teams, like, something to deal with stupid shit like side turning, at least to some degree, with, like, you know, Dragon Tail phasing and stuff like that. And, like, I think it's really just more so the hazard problem, because, like, dude, look at, I think SVPU had to literally deal with, a lot of the other lower tiers have had to deal with really fucking crappy hazard removal in general. Like, I remember there was a point in, man, this was like last year's Grand Slam when I was playing like SVPU, and that shit was so stupid. Like literally the sentiment was just accept that hazards are gonna go up. Everybody just spam boots. Like, it was crazy. I think this was when Quillfish Hisui was in the fucking tier before it moved up. And I remember, like, at almost every game I played, it was like, it was full stack of hazards, right? It just came down to who managed their hazards better, who got knocked first, you know, all that shit. And then it came down to, yeah, it was like pretty weird. So like I've seen pretty whack meta games where like hazard removal is just dire. But yeah, I will see you guys next time.